Yeah. Drive safely, April. I'll stay until the stuff, until you get back here. Yeah. So go take some back.
Yeah, I'm going to 2:30.
Okay.
I always start with the judges, and then it's like, okay, I got those. These are all
Hey Jess, what's your name? Okay. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and get settled. I know it's been a long day. And I'm not wearing a mic, so only because I have the thing going on and I have to carry a battery pack. You know, I'm used to advising contestants to put a battery pack on their bra strap. All right, we're all here for contest judges training. And a lot of what we're going to cover are things that have been already covered by Rob and Jen Key. What did y'all think about Jen today? Awesome! Awesome! I am so glad April brought him back. So we're going to talk again about the benefits of contests. What are the benefits of the contest to the members, to the judges, to the functionaries, to the whole entire world? So, the first one is personal growth. How many of you have competed in contests? How many of you love competing in contests? How many of you are going to continue competing in contests? Do you feel like you gained something from that training, from that process that you went to compete? I know I did. You want to know what I learned? Don't go overtime at a district conference by 1 second when you have 30 of your high school students in the same room. Yeah, I didn't practice what I preached, but I learned a lot and it was worth it. And I learned, for me, to keep my speeches within about 645 words for a 7-minute speech. What is another great? We share Toastmasters, don't we? I mean, that's what we're all here for. I know that when I first started competing, it was a great way of sharing Toastmasters with my high school kids. Unfortunately, only one of them ended up joining Toastmasters, and that was my daughter, and then I had to compete against her. Didn't work really well for me. But it's all about sharing Toastmasters. It's a publicity event. That's one of the reasons we want to run great contests, but it's also a reason that we need to have great judging. Because I can guarantee you, if the judging is not good, your audience knows. And they'll go, huh? Exactly what Jen said with the disqualification that one year. That people will think the contests are rigged if the judging isn't spot on. Networking. I'm going to tell you, I would not be the immediate past district governor in Toastmasters if it were not for contests. I would have never gone to my first district contest had my daughter not been competing in table topics. Guess what? Wasn't that great of a district conference, and I probably wouldn't have attended again had it not been for the fact that my daughter was competing in the next district contest. You see anything going on here? It was a great contest where I met my first world champion of public speaking, Darren LaCroix, and really where I realized that Toastmasters really is international. And I met so many people at that one single conference that I decided it was my time to beat my kid. So the next 2 times were, again, for conferences. And then, like some of you, you've stepped out of doing contests to go into district leadership because you cannot do both at the same time. And for some people, that is a really big severing because everybody wants to be the world champion of public speaking. But guess what? We can't have a world champion of public speaking if we don't have judges for our contests. And for many of us, it's exactly what Jim said, practicing. Practice anywhere, anytime, any place. My dog ran away from me. I practiced in my shower. I practiced in front of my high school kids. I practiced at clubs. It's all about practice. But what about judging? Do we need to practice our judging? Sure we do. So when you go to the district conferences, and I've seen several of you at conferences, do you judge the conferences? Do you use the back form on the agenda and use it to judge? That's practicing. It's also becoming familiar with those judging forms. So it's practicing. And practice makes perfect. Because we will tell you, if you have not judged at a district level, by the time you get international, it's one of the eligibility criteria for a judge in international. You have to have judged at a district level conference. The contests have to be fair. I have been to contests and I have been in contests that were not fair. And why do I say that? That would be because some judge would come up to a contestant and say, honey, you would have won, but you haven't done your time yet. Now we're past that. That was 10, 11 years ago, but it's happened. So as a judge, you have some obligations to yourself, the contestants, and really to the entire district and the world. So we're going to talk a little bit about eligibility to judge. Who's eligible to judge the evaluation, the table topics, and the humorous speech contests in our district? And this is anywhere. Who's eligible to judge them? Excuse me? Member of good standing in a club in good standing. That means your dues must be paid. And your chief judge should be checking the eligibility at the same time that they check the contestant eligibility. Judges must be members of Toastmasters. Now, that's really the only criteria that we have for those contests, for that contest. So at area and above, because we're going to kind of skip over clubs, because clubs don't always have official contests, and we're really here to focus on our district training. So exactly what Christine said, a member of good standing of a club in good standing for a minimum of 6 months at the area level. That means a brand new club, unless they have experienced members who've been members for more than 6 months, shouldn't be judging. They must have completed at least 6 competent communication manual speeches in order to be eligible to judge for the international speech contest. That means that person that joined Toastmasters 3 weeks ago, unless they've given 6 speeches, they're not eligible to judge. And the reason is because we match the criteria for the judges to the same criteria that we hold for our speech contestants. And this is a criteria for a speech contestant. Let's see. Can't read my own handwriting. Contestants. All right. So if you have someone in your area who's volunteered to be a judge but is competing in a different area, can they judge? No. Rules were changed last year to really clarify that rule. If you are a contestant and you are still eligible to compete, meaning you haven't been dropped out of the contest, you may not judge the contest.
Is that to prevent people from, like let's say your main competition was in some other area, and saying, well, I want to get rid of that guy, so I'll be.
That is exactly why.
Because otherwise, you would think, if it wasn't for that, you'd think, what there's.
Correct. It's really to take out that bonus. Some people always said, well, it's because you can't listen to another contestant from the other areas. No, when I was competing, I went to a lot of the area contests to see who my competitors were, to see what I had to do. That was my philosophy. Not every contestant does that. But yes, it's to give that unbiased view of a contest. So Rob talked a little bit about it as judging obligations. What do you think some of the obligations for judges are?
You have to be fair.
You have to be fair.
Unbiased.
Unbiased. Yes, and we keep saying to pick a winner. You are not picking, this is the one time that an article in your sentence really makes a big difference. You are picking the winner. Because in my mind, everybody who's competing as a contestant is a winner because they've stepped up to do the work. You are picking the winner for that particular contest on that particular day on that particular stage. And I'll share later on some of my reasons why I don't judge the same contestant more than once. So it's being professional. We want our judges to be professional, act professional. We want to make sure that they are attending a judge's briefing. I do not want a judge who is not going to make the time to attend the briefing. It's not fair to the contestant, and it's really against the rules. Judges must attend the briefing. As a judge, you should be paying very clear attention to your chief judge. Even if you've been there before and you're sitting in a 50-minute briefing, and yes, it is true, they are 50-minute briefings at International, while we go over every single item. But you need to attend the briefing. You need to understand the contest rule book. All right, this is my pet peeve. How many of us have been judges of the contest and the rule book is included in my judging packet and my briefing is 10 minutes before the contest? Chief judges should be emailing you a link to the judging rules ahead of time. My personal preference would be the judge's briefing is not happening the day of the contest, the full judge's briefing. But you can do that briefing by phone, go over the rule book, and then the day of the contest you can make things much shorter, and you can have them sign the eligibility forms and remind them of their judge's promise that's on the back of that form. But read the manual for the contest that you're in. You will hear, and this is very true in every district that we've heard about, there are always those people that say, well, there's a rule about. Okay, let's talk about one of the rules that drives me absolutely insane. As a contestant, am I allowed to wear my DTM pin and my name badge?
No.
Yes, I can wear them. There's no rule in the book that says I have to strip myself of all my insignia. Guess what? I'm probably stupid if I wear them. Just because the name tags, you'll notice I'm not wearing my name tag right now. You want to know why? Because it will slip sideways. Every picture you ever have of someone standing on a stage speaking, their name tag is sideways. I take it off. I don't want the magnet falling into my bra. I mean, let's be honest. Those things happen. No, I take them off because they're in my way and they're an annoyance to the judges. Can I read that someone's a distinguished Toastmaster? Can I read, have the people know that this is my DTM pin and not just a member pin? No, there's no rule about that. It goes back to the same rule that Jim talked about is, do I have to wear a suit? No, it's up to me and I'm making some of those choices. I will tell you the first contest my daughter attended, they went so far as to make her take her National Forensics League key off. Do you want to know why? Somebody might have known that she was a high school speaker and they thought she was an alumni and it gave her an unfair advantage. Really? It was a little teeny tiny pin. It could have been anything. So think about it. Read your manual and don't listen to some of the urban legends that we've had in the district. It drives me nuts. Be fair and unbiased. All right, we will talk a little bit later about biases and the types of biases we have and how to prevent them. And be familiar with the judging ballot. Okay, Jim talked about it a little bit before. Do you all remember what the percentage is on the judging guide for content? 50%. All right, judging versus evaluating. I don't even think. We do so much evaluating in Toastmasters that sometimes we forget we're in a contest, we're not evaluating the contestant, we're judging the contestant. So judging is picking, and this still says a winner, we're picking the winners. The winner is first place, second place, third place, on down. Evaluating is appraising, giving guidelines, it's giving advice, it's giving the recommendation. Can you do that in a contest? No. If you do, you're violating your judge's code of ethics. You may later step by and as a person say, hey, I really liked your speech. This is what I would recommend next time, but you can't disclose that you were a judge. That's against the rules. And let me tell you what, contestants know who the judges are in smaller contests. Most contestants who've competed several times know who their judges are at the district contest. And we'll talk about why and how they know. And there's some really big evidence that we'll talk about. And finally, judges' decisions are final. And they are confidential. You cannot later go to a contestant and say, hey, I gave you third place. Now, I know that April and David and Rob and I have all judged at the semifinals, and Rob's actually judged in the finals round. Rob, and I was sitting next to him, was a judge the year that Olivia Schofield went on time. And I've always wanted to know if he placed her first place. And as well as I know Rob, do you think he's going to tell me? Not on your life. It is confidential. Did I look over to see how he judged? No, because his ballot is confidential. And honestly, I really didn't want to know. Oops, I'm going backwards. Nope. Judges' code of ethics. We avoid bias when we select our winners. And sometimes that's hard. I'm an experienced high school speech judge. I judge almost every weekend starting about this time of year, which is why most of you do not end up having me as judges at your area and division contests. I have other obligations that pre-existed before my Toastmasters time, and I'm not giving up on my high school kids. But it means that I know my biases because I've practiced judging a lot. Don't time the speeches. Now, many of us know a 5 to 7 minute speech, and you get that feeling when someone's going long, but you shouldn't be looking at the timer, and the timer device shouldn't be available for you to see it anyway. You disregard time. Let the timers take care of that. You are still judging the speech without the time criteria included. You need to know the contest rules for each of the contests. You never reveal your judges' scores or rankings, and that includes giving them to the chief judge. So at one point in time, the chief judges were told, give me your ballot form. No, it's my ballot form. I'm supposed to get rid of it as a judge. If your chief judge tells you to give them to them for disposal later, simply say nothing. Because you never want to correct a chief judge in front of other judges. So barriers to objectivity. How many of you are in the official Toastmasters LinkedIn group or the Facebook group? There is a long discussion that Mike Rafferty, who used to be our international director, brings up all the time in the speaking order. Now, I will tell you, in high school, the kids like to be first or last. And they like to be first because they're setting the stage. So if you could be the best there was, the judges knew you were the best, and everybody else, they had to follow you. Or the last, because that's the last speaker in a judge's mind. Take your speaking order out of that and take all those words and scientific, I'm going to say this, crap that you